Hi everyone, today I want to share with you why I decided to go back to uni at 32 years old. So I already have several degrees. I have a BA in philosophy, I have a master's in East Asian studies, and I have a PhD in modern languages, but that was technically on philosophy religion. After my PhD, I was unemployed for like 2 years, and then I finally managed to get a job in a call center, but luckily it was not for calls, it was for content moderation. And I stayed there and I was pretty happy doing that. Not the best salary, but you know, my first job fresh out of school, so it wasn't too bad in my opinion. And then the conditions kinda went down a lot. So I decided to quit that and start freelancing with AI training. But only the first few months went well, and then I started, well, not just me, everyone in general, starting to having a lot less work with AI training, especially if you were not doing the coding software part of it or like sciencey part of it, which I was clearly not because I am a mainly humanities person. After a year of freelancing, I realized, you know what, this is just not sustainable. And I have already started to try to grow on social media. I have a YouTube channel in Portuguese. I have tried to have YouTube channels before, but after I did 200 videos on my Portuguese channel in a year, I realized, you know what, the Portuguese market is not really working, it's very small, and I have originally planned to use that as an advantage because there is obviously less competition, but I realized, you know what, I don't need 1 million followers, I just need enough to make a living of it in Portugal. I don't need American salaries, I need just some euros to earn out of it. So I decided to start this channel and focus on English social media content creation. However, as you guys might know, it is actually really hard to grow on social media and monetize it, especially to get money from AdSense. And you know, I also want to have my own business eventually, but that requires nowadays social media presence. So I am also hoping that my social media content is not just gonna make money by itself, but also fuel a business in the future. Taking into account that the only employment I'm being able to get calls back from our call centers for 1 or 2 positions, but call centers at the end of the day, and in Portugal, which means they don't really pay that well, if they pay well in any country at all, I decided, you know what, I am going to go back to uni just to get some structure in my life and learn some new things, because one of the things, for me, one of the issues of working in corporate is that it destroys my neurons. I swear to you guys, I feel I lose intelligence working in an office. So I thought, you know what, I need to fix that, I need to learn something, I need to be structured, and I need it to be official and formal, so I have that external motivation of having deadlines, having exams, having, you know, passing grades, having a certificate, a diploma at the end of the road. So I decided to go back to uni, and I chose the Spanish UNED, which is the Spanish National University of Long Distance Learning, because it's just like really flexible and made for learning long distance essentially. I enrolled in the first year of psychology, but I only took like 30 credits, which is like half of the workload. Now, I'm gonna do the half of the first year and see how it goes, because the UNED has a very different methodology for normal uni. It is very memorization based, which I am not used to because I study philosophy. All the exams are multiple choice, which I haven't done a multiple choice exam since high school, and they were like in an American high school, which means they were like kind of easy. So yeah, it's gonna be a big change for me study-wise, but I am really excited to 1, go back to uni, 2, learn something, 3, have a pathway, even if it's slow, to something that is actually better paid than what I'm currently doing. So my plan is not exactly to work as a psychologist for now, because not only do you need the 4-year degree, in Spain it's a 4-year bachelor's degree, and then a competitive master's degree, and then to do psychology residence, almost like you're a doctor, but you know, obviously it's just for psychology, and it's just very long. But there are, I think, other pathways for psychology that I could explore, including research perhaps. So yeah, I am open to it. For now, I just wanted to have it there as a kind of future-proof, complementary, structure-giving kind of project. But I am just so excited. I love study content, I miss studying, I miss learning, and I miss the fact that it is something where if you work, your work shows up in results, which unfortunately it's something that does not happen outside of school in my experience, or well, maybe in the gym. Yeah, in the gym you do see your results, but like in adult life, like there is really no meritocracy in most places. And as a person who grew up thinking that, you know, if you work hard and are decently intelligent, everything is gonna be fine, and it did not work like that, clearly. So yeah, these are the main reasons I am going back to uni at 32 years old. I also think I have such a different view of uni now, because I mean, I studied philosophy as my first degree, and clearly I mean I did it because I like it, but even though I did study hard, I feel I did not have the life experience and perspective that I have now, looking back towards the past, of the privilege and the great opportunity that it is to be able to actually study something, especially something you like. So I am really excited to take my psychology degree slow, to read more than the manual, to learn about other specialties and branches that are not covered in the uni degree. I have always really liked CSI, Criminal Minds, and all those kind of shows, so I do want to check criminal psychology and, you know, read a little about it, see if I like it. Overall, just experience a new branch of knowledge that I have not really had the time, energy to delve into up until this point in my life. I do have to say that because the uni is online, I am not really worried about, you know, being an adult and everybody else being younger than me, because there are a lot of adult people using this university because it's just really flexible. So I don't have that struggle. Also, because I did a PhD, I have been studying up to the last couple years, and I do have to say that from my bachelor's, master's and PhD, the bachelor's degree was the most intellectually stimulating because it just has more content, there are more subjects to study, there are more professors with different views, and just more students in general. And I think that this leads to a wider variety of perspectives, mental stimulation, than a master's, which is highly specialized, and especially a PhD, where it's basically almost solo work. So I'm really excited to do another bachelor's degree. Yeah, I will be recording my journey. This summer, I am probably going to start with some courses on Khan Academy for statistics and biology, just to, you know, make sure I have the science basis ready for the degree. Now, psychology in Spain is considered nowadays a science subject, so I'm going to have subjects like psychopharmacology down the road, and the first year I am taking an introduction to psychobiology, introduction to data analysis. So, you know, I want to make sure I have those foundations. I did study science in high school, but I was so bad at it, it was just ridiculous. So I really need to hustle this summer into those Khan Academy courses. I will be sharing which ones I'm doing along the journey. I have done a pre-selection of courses I want to do, and I just need to like start and see which one is basic enough for me to start from. But yeah, I am really excited. I am already planning my organization. I am already working on my study space, trying to organize it. I have made some space on my shelves to, you know, make sure I have space for my study materials and that everything is visible and I don't forget anything just because I have not seen it. So in summary, this is going to be a very long, but I think also very fulfilling journey. And I honestly also hope it opens new career opportunities for me down the line, especially now with AI automation and all the terrible issues we're having with the job market, with the economy, with rent prices, house prices, etc. I just think I need to spread out and have as many baskets with eggs on them as I could possibly have. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you are going to go back to uni, if you're in uni, your plans, etc. I love to hear about them, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!